We spoke a little bit earlier on at a certain age, one could be maybe affected, or one could become soulless at an early age. And we also spoke of a third that is part your mother, a third part your father, and also a third that is part environmental. And I have a question in regards to that. And you spoke of no matter what age, one could be soulless. And I'm saying, if you was born young, how at a young age could you become soulless?
For example, a child catching asthma, which is a form of herpes, by the way. It's a skin disease on the lungs. It's a herpes, it's lung herpes. And that ram keeps the child away from proper air. And air itself is the largest source of atmosphere, which is soul, that we have access to. So when you lose your soul, you're saying that you are losing your connection to all the layers of that which you're going to breathe and that which you breathe out. So your levels of reciprocal maintenance are now thrown off. You're not connected to every system of air. As when you come in, for example, that child is pulling on the mother's source. So that's a deeper source. So that's an inner soul. You come in with an inner soul, right? And if you don't breathe properly, by the time they smack you on the behind as a newborn child, you'll begin to gasp for air and get choked on the air. Now you're receiving a poisonous soul. Every system of air. As when you come in, for example, that child is pulling on the mother's source. So that's a deeper source. So that's an inner soul. You come in with an inner soul, right? And if you don't breathe properly, by the time they smack you on the behind as a newborn child, you'll begin to gasp for air and get choked on the air. Now you're receiving a poisonous soul. This is a negative soul. This isn't a positive soul.
I'm getting some water.
So that could be
you have two souls that occupy you as a person. Remember, you have 7 souls, so there's 5 external ones, but you have 2 inside of you. That's why you have 2 lungs to correspond with it.
okay. Yeah.
Now, one of them are negative and the other is positive. One of them allows itself to be equal yet opposite, while the other always allows itself to have its own optional position. It has its own options and its own positions in life. That's how it is. All right. And that's how we built the customs of the pyramids. We have one that revealed to you outward, and we have one that's not revealed to you inward.
Right.
And that's how the whole soul works. The pyramids represent the soul. Remember, the soul is air. What's the main source of fire?
Air.
Air. And what does the pyramid represent? The root word of pyramid is fire. Pyra. Fire. Pyro. So we said a middle fire. Fire in the middle of something. So soul. So inner soul. So you start off as an inner soul being. And you can remain like that. Like Abraham did, right? Abraham was hidden for 2 years away from his father. Before any negative power came around him. He was hidden for 2 years underground. And then his mother brought him up. His mother Nuna. She brought him up. And they discovered that out of the triplets, one was hidden that they thought was dead. Abraham was supposed to have been dead. You know. And so at age 2, he came. His mother Nuna. She brought him up, and they discovered that out of the triplets, one was hidden that they thought was dead. Abraham was supposed to have been dead, you know. And so at age 2, he finally came up to where he can be poisoned by air. See, he was hidden underground, which you're safer. You bury food underground to keep it safe. That means the real good earth is inner earth. Therefore, the real good air is inner air. So real good soul is inner soul. There's a better soul inside of the planet. And that's where you are trying to get to. That's why everything is trying to kill you.
Because
your soul is trying to get better and better. You go from alpha to beta. Alpha particles into beta particles.
That's what you're saying.
And you keep working your way up into Orion. And so we're studying this. And so that soul corresponds even with your positions of prayer. When the master told us to bow our heads a certain way while we stand, that's to align our spine up with a certain constellation, which tilts a certain gland, which allows a certain secretion that drains at a certain angle, that keeps a temperature in the body, which corresponds with another attraction of air. So your temperature level corresponds with what soul you're going to attract to. Because you have two souls operating at one time. You have just like a battery. You got
positive and negative.
So your soul is inside of you like a prison, and its duration in that cell, you're being charged. See, it gets charged based on his charges. It ventilates how much his duration in that cell will be, and you call it a Duracell.
So that charge is at that point is a positive charge
and a negative. It's positive on one end, negative on another. It's good Tyrone or little baby or little poo poo got locked up so they can study now. Most of them niggas never read, so now they got to study. So most of them get out like Malcolm X. See, as long as they keep their head straight. But then they get out of jail and they drop the bay and they drop the L and they forget all about it. And so that's what it's about. It's good on one. But then they get out of jail and they drop the bay and they drop the L and they forget all about it. And so that's what it's about. It's good on one end, it's negative on the other. And that's how magnetism is produced, because when you find a way to coil things that are not magnetized, however, they're able to conduct electricity, you're producing electromagnetism. Because now you're taking the negative and the positive and you're producing the magnetic charge, but you're having something that's electric tied around it to keep it coiling. See?
So is this creating some sort of spark at this point?
Like a static. Like if you was rubbing your hand up against your cat, you're creating lightning. That lightning is electromagnetics. And you don't see it coming down. You see it going up. Like lightning. You see lightning going up. You don't see it coming down. When you're hit by lightning, there's an invisible electric shock. And once it strikes you, you shoot off color. And that's the part of it you see. Thus, you don't see electricity till it strikes something. It was always there. It's just you didn't see it till it struck something. That's when you be like, damn, that was... You know, people say, don't touch that wire. Don't touch that fence. You touch that fence, you can see it. So that's how the soul works. And they're scared of that. The devil knows that the day that you get used to letting people see your wires and they get in touch with... The more they get in touch with you, the quicker your light is going to show for everybody to know. And it'll be already too late. It's too late once you already grabbed the fence. Depends on how big that charge is. Now, if it's charged with the source, oh man. See, if it's Farad Muhammad, which all of us are supposed to be, if we bear witness to him, when you look at us, you're supposed to see Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
And that's the truth. Elijah Muhammad was our messenger. See, we are alone and have no partners. If we can't see him, then we have to be him. See, right. Out of sight, out of mind. That means out of my mind. If it's Farad Muhammad, which all of us are supposed to be, if we bear witness to him, we all, when you look at us, you're supposed to see Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
And that's the truth.
That's
Elijah
that's
Muhammad
the
was
fact.
our messenger. See, we all alone have no partners. If he is not, if we can't see him, then we have to be him. See,
That's right.
out of sight, out of mind. That means out of my mind, I must put those ideas, not throw them away. That means show them. This little
Show
light
'em,
of mine,
right.
I must let them shine. See, they think out of sight, out of mind means you can ignore things. No, if it's out of sight, see, you don't, it's beyond you in the first place. It was a gift to you in the first place. It was a gift. It's God's gift. And he's with you. He's going to place the thoughts in your mind. You just got to be willing to receive. Because we all doubles of each other. Replicas. We all a piece of one soul. But we are splitting up. Some of it is a dying soul, while the other is a rising soul.
Right.
One is levitating while the other is gravitating. So that's what I said. One is a negative charge and one is a positive charge. But that body is a coil wrapped around both of them and just creating things while one soul is going up and the other is going down. This body is using it.
Yeah, because that's I can use that example. I can see that also in the form of just having children per se.
This body did not move until he blew his breath of life into it.
I had a stillborn child. I seen a
right.
dead baby. I helped a dead baby. My son.
That baby's a baby.
He was
But
formed.
until that air,
Yeah, he was dead. He
Until
was
that
that
soul,
stillborn.
that's part of that
he
soul.
got to make an
material.
agreement with that air. But by him not making an agreement with this poisonous air, he went straight to the inner air. And I said, once you go to the ground, the quicker you go to the ground, you become food for the worms. Now you're dealing with a finer air. You're dealing with a higher density. You're dealing with some. Remember, a worm can do something you can't do. It's smaller than you. That means its components is more condensed than you. It's at a density level higher than yours. It can reach heights that you can't reach. It can reach microscopic heights that you can't reach. You will have to shrink yourself to get on this level. Now you're dealing with a finer air. You're dealing with a higher density. You're dealing with some. Remember, a worm can do something you can't do. It's smaller than you. That means its components is more condensed than you. It's at a density level higher than yours. It can reach heights that you can't reach. It can reach microscopic heights that you can't reach. You will have to shrink yourself to get on this level.
Shit.
It's already on your level, but you can't get on this level.
I see what you said. Times of seeing. Microscopic. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's what it means by that soul. That soul is the pushing force. And everybody's giving off a pushing force. When you walk, you give off a pushing force. When you think, you give off a pushing force. The reflection of the mind is the soul. Don't get it twisted. And if the mind don't have no limit, then the reflection of it don't have no limit. There's really no limit to the soul. See? But it has time attached to it where it changes form, where it goes and does something different than what you normally see it do. And so that baby can be a part of a higher atmosphere and can come to this atmosphere and help change this atmosphere. Or you can corrupt it and this atmosphere will get rid of its atmosphere. Thus, it has lost its soul. Yeah. And it has to be relit. And now, in your chest, that soul is called solar plexus. You make soul and keep it generated. But it can burn out like a candle. Remember those 7 candles of Hanukkah. Those 7 candles correspond with the 7 souls. Your 7 connections, or fires, or spirits, or inspirations, or concerns of things that are above you and flowing through you. You feel them.
So those are all connections to keep the fire per se lit.
And remember, other candles keep your fire lit. So the more lit you are, the more you connect people to you. Remember, fire attracts other fire.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is sit on your throne, or stand, or be firm as you travel and verify things. The more you travel, the more you're going to, or be firm as you travel and verify things. The more you travel, the more you're going to attract new flames to you. And the more you go around, the more you burn up stuff. So your degrees get spread around the world. You become all degrees. And by you being all degrees, you become all knowing. All knowing in what? All knowing in what's known and all knowing in what's unknown. Because you'll know all that's known, all everybody else's sources, but you also know what they don't know. So you become something totally infinite compared to their finite. They're finite. They only go off what's known, and they don't know what's not known because they haven't mastered what's known. That's why Master Muhammad, with his all-knowing wisdom, he told us things that we did not know yet. See, he said, really no birth record to the black man. That's a known unknown. So they can't say, well, he didn't know how everything. Like, no, hold on. Part of being all-knowing is to know what's known and to know what's unknown.
That's right.
What don't we know? And until I can prove him wrong, he's still all-knowing. If he tells me a list of things we don't know, if he said, I don't know this, or we don't know this, and I come through and say, no, we do know this, then I'm proving him wrong. Until somebody does that, he's all-knowing. And that's what people, so that's the soul that's in us. There's a part of us that wants to prove him wrong, and there's a part of us that wants to prove him right.
Supreme said he had both natures in him.
That's right. We all do now. If we are made in his image and in his likeness.
His likeness.
We got both natures.
We got both natures. That's what I've been touching on. The duality. Now we're going from unity into twinity. That's the real duality. Twinity. Twinity. Then you get into trilogy or trinity. And then you get into quadity. But we can't get into quadity until we've already made it past unity. Unity, twinity, trinity, quadity. See, trinity is when you become a twin of Allah. He has no partners, okay. But he ain't say he ain't had no twins. I can prove him wrong. He's still all-knowing. If he tells me a list of things we don't know, if he said, I don't know this, or we don't know this, and I come through and say, no, we do know this, then I'm proving him wrong. Until somebody does that, he's all-knowing. And that's what people, so that's the soul that's in us. There's a part of us that wants to prove him wrong, and there's a part of us that wants to prove him right.
Supreme said he had both natures in him.
That's right. We all do now. If we are made in his image and in his likeness.
His likeness.
We got both natures.
We got both natures. That's what I've been touching on. The duality. Now we're going from unity into twinity. That's the real duality. Twinity. Then you get into trilogy or trinity. And then you get into quadity. But we can't get into quadity until we've already made it past unity. Unity, twinity, trinity, quadity. See, trinity is when you become a twin of Allah. He has no partners, okay. But he ain't say he ain't had no twins. And that the Quran corrected the whole Trinity doctrine because we didn't teach Trinity. We taught quality. That's Allah's science.
Wow.
Yeah, brother, that's it. That's how the soul works. And your soul is refreshed. It's refreshed. Music restores your soul. So new music keeps your soul fueled. Keeps your atmosphere, keeps you vibing. The day you lose your vibe, you become like wood. And you become less connected to the air.
He says soulless person.
Just airless. You're barely using air. It's just like being suffocated all the time. You feel like you can't breathe. Yeah. Until I can prove him wrong, he's still all-knowing. If he tells me a list of things we don't know, if he said, I don't know this, or we don't know this, and I come through and say, no, we do know this, then I'm proving him wrong.